Hello zombies, ghosts, and demons. I'm Spooky Dave, your horror-loving master of scares. Today on the guillotine is VVitch, and yes, I call it VVitch because it sounds cooler and it has V's, not a W. This movie was recommended by DiscGolfer1233, and since my channel is still new, I will gladly fulfill this request. VVitch is directed by Robert Eggers, who also directed such films such as The Northman and Nosferatu, which I have a review already on my channel, so make sure you go and check that out. Also, I do have to say that with this video, my audio was a little messed up with the recording, so you're going to have a little bit of audio issues, but please forgive me on that and watch the rest of it because it's still good. So, going over the cast of VVitch, let's see what we got. So, Anna Taylor-Joy is playing Thomasin, who is the daughter. Harvey Scrimshaw is playing Caleb, the son and the brother to Thomasin. Ralph Einstein is playing William, the father, and Kate Dickie is playing Catherine, the mother. There's a few other characters, which I don't really care about them. Sarah Steffens is playing the Witch, and Daniel Macal is playing Black Phillip. Also, bonus actor is Julian Richings, who plays the governor. He's only at the beginning, but that's the actor who plays Death from Supernatural, and it's one of my all-time favorite characters of all time, is that version of Death. So if you like Supernatural, go check him out. Same actor, he's great. But before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button to join the Horde, a very original idea to bring together my cult following. Also, make sure to hit the like button on the video and leave a comment of the best scene in a Robert Eggers film that you enjoy. I'll wait while you do that. No, don't worry. I'll wait. Did you hit the buttons? Fantastic. Let's go! Okay, so, before we begin, I believe there was something I was missing. Something about spoilers. Oh. Wait, what is that? Is that Spoiler Shark? Spoiler Shark, do 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 do. Spoiler Shark, do 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 do. Spoiler Shark, do 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 do. Spoiler Shark. Snape kills Dumbledore. Oh man, I was barely able to fight him off. We better get to the review before he comes back. So, the movie opens up with the main family on trial for dishonoring the laws and church with its prideful deceit. No idea what that even means. Also, pilgrims here are the most pilgrims you've ever seen. From here, the father gets his family banished from the plantation, which you always gotta love when men were in charge of the family so their pride can ruin it for everyone. Yay, misogyny! So, they find a nice little spot in a forest to build their new home upon. Even has a stream nearby. So we jump forward in time where they built a house, a farm, and everything else. Makes you wonder how they even got all the materials for it, considering he is one man banished from a plantation community, and he only has small children. So the story is mainly about Thomasin, the oldest child and daughter of the family. We open up with her praying about being sinful and not obedient to her parents and being idle of her work. Damn girl, she just wants a Saturday off every now and then. And she played on the Sabbath. Okay, now we can see why she's going straight to hell. So, the prayer is saying how she deserves more punishment and hellfire, and soon we come to realize the biggest villain in the movie is religion. And that's saying something considering there's a witch involved. Also, in the meantime, the mother had another baby, because what's another mouth to feed, am I right? Mother hands the baby off to Thomasin, where she goes off to play with the baby. She's playing, classic peekaboo. And then just like that, between her hiding her eyes and the baby gone, he was all like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Literally gone with only a blanket remaining. And like what kind of witch power is that to snatch a baby in a single moment? Then, we see someone running through the forest with the sound of a baby. They really did run and grab a baby and then GTFO before Thomasin even saw anything. We see the baby, all naked and such, with an old, decrepit hand, and then we see an old witch mashing a red, wet paste. It's been 9 minutes in, and we just saw a baby get turned into ragu. This went hard right away. More time passes, and we hear Mother sobbing as Caleb, the oldest boy, opening the windows in the morning. He then is starting to check out Thomasin while she sleeps. So apparently we have some flowers in the attic vibes going on here. But to be fair, the kid has no one for miles. If this was Alabama, she would be a possible future wife for him. Sweet home Alabama. So Caleb goes out to meet his father in the field. They discuss they will not be searching for the missing baby anymore. Father discusses that the crops are bad, and they need to catch their food because they cannot grow it. They have to go to the forest to hunt. William and Caleb take the dog and go into the woods. Father is asking Caleb about some bullcrap religious stuff, about how sinful he is for just existing. Nothing really important at all. We will just be skipping over the rest of the boring religious stuff, as there's a lot in this movie. We're checking in on Thomasin, who's gathering with what looks to be a single egg from the chickens. She then drops the egg. You had one job. And inside is a dead chick. A very bad sign? Or how long has that egg actually been in there? William and Caleb find a rabbit, and it is time to do some hunting. Of course, this is the most demonic rabbit you've ever can imagine. Beating eyes, unblinking, it just sits there and stares them. No fear or alertness. I know they are hungry, but that thing will haunt your dreams. As William goes to take the shot, the musket backfires and the rabbit gets away. Told you it was cursed. We jump back to the farm where the twins are playing with Black Phillip. I don't like the way they say black. A black goat with one hell of a rack of horns. I assume that if it was a white goat, though, they would just be calling it Phillip. So William wrangles with Black Phillip to get him back into the pen. Catherine then scolds Thomasin because she was supposed to watch the twins. Not like, that's a parent's job or anything. But seriously, they were just playing with a goat, and there was no one else around. They were fine. Thomasin could still hear them, so they weren't even far away. Catherine, how about you parent your own kids better? After that, Thomasin has to wash her father's clothes. She goes down to the stream to do so. Caleb comes by for some water, and of course is checking out his sister again. So they have a small chat, and then they find Mercy, one of the twins, playing and pretending to be a witch. Very nice for the time. And she even says that Black Phillip gave her permission to be on her own.
Tell Mother you have left the farm alone.
Black Phillip says I can do what I like.
Devil take your Black Phillip.
Guys, I think we need to have a talk about Black Phillip. So then Mercy brings up the fact that it's Thomasin's fault for the missing baby. Thomasin then says that she is a witch of the woods, and she'll eat Mercy and Jonas. Also not a good thing to say at the time period. Do you want to get burned at the stake? Because that's how you get burned at the stake. After dinner, Thomasin is sent out, as the goats and sheep have not been taken care of before dinner. So she goes out to check on them. And what's in the pen? The demonic rabbit. And that's that. No more to that scene. William and Catherine are discussing things in bed. They call up to their children to see if they're asleep. But we see they're all awake and just listening. Not like they would have anything else to do for entertainment. The parents think it will be a good idea to trade Thomasin off as she's showing signs of womanhood. Sorry, I had a gay right there. Oh my god, that means she's like 13 or something. Super gross. Mother is concerned they will starve, but William says that he will not return to the church, and he's the man, so they will do what he says and starve instead. In the night, Caleb and Thomasin take off on their own little quest. Caleb doesn't want Thomasin to leave, so he is going to try to go hunting in the woods. Thomasin demands to go along, so they take off with the horse. While they're in the forest, one of the traps got an animal.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys!
But then, the rabbit is back. Damn, that thing is everywhere. Fowler, the dog, chases after it as it takes off. Caleb leaves Thomasin to chase the dog. Then the horse tosses Thomasin off. Nice. Quick jump to the farm, where the twins are tied to the fence to keep them from going anywhere. I just love that.
Thomasin! Caleb! Thomasin! Caleb!
Caleb finds Fowler, and he has been disemboweled. Then, for some reason, goes further into the woods. Thomasin heads back home as she's alone and it's getting dark. Caleb then finds the witch's house, and damn, that old witch turned into a smoke show. Exactly what Caleb was looking for, by the way. Apparently, baby juice takes years off your appearance. So the witch comes up and kisses Caleb. Hells yeah, kiss and not even from his sister. Sorry guys, a little bit of interference as I realized that my microphone wasn't the primary recording device for audio, so hopefully my audio is better now. Nice, especially because I pre-recorded everything else. Nice. So after some time talking with the family, some confessions about a silver cup, Thomasin goes out to put the goats to bed, and she finds Caleb naked. We cut to the next day, and Mercy's talking to Black Phillip again, asking him what happened to Caleb. The twins then tell Thomasin that the parents will find out that she is a witch. Then, as Thomasin goes out to milk the goat, it is blood. Very bad signs, a lot of evil around this farm. William is going to head to town to trade, as well as get a doctor for Caleb. They need to sell corn to sell, so the girls are shucking corn. Meanwhile, Mercy is singing songs about Black Phillip. If you love him so much, then just why don't you marry him? So then Caleb wakes up, chatting about some crazy stuff. Then he coughs up an apple. Trust a witch to use an apple. But Thomasin did say she wanted an apple, so win? So now the children are telling the parents that Thomasin is a witch, and William decides to interrogate her about the Bible and God, things that an evil person cannot speak of. William then says that they all need to pray, and then the twins say they cannot remember their prayer. Just like I mentioned how evil cannot speak the prayers. Then Caleb wakes, and him and the twins start speaking of evil and devils. Then Caleb speaks a bit more, and then promptly goes to die. The twins also act unconscious as well, annoying little kids. So Thomasin runs out, and William goes after her. He apparently believes that she has made a bargain, and even though Thomasin pleads with him that she has done no such thing, since William tells her to confess, which we all know is from history, just means that they want you to admit what they want to hear. She then tells him she isn't a witch, and he is unhappy about it. Thomasin then tells him about his fault, and how he isn't happy about that either. Then she tells him that the twins made a covenant with Black Phillip, as they are whispering to him all day. They are the ones who brought the curse. Black Phillip is the devil. As William gets angry at all this BS, he then says he will smite the children as Abraham, and then surprisingly the twins wake up. Yay, miracle! Almost like they were pretending the whole time. So what does father do? Obviously he boards them up in the goat barn. Makes perfect sense. Oh, and of course Black Phillip is in there as well, because of course leave all of your remaining kids with the goat you believe to be the actual devil. So, parenting 101. In the night, Catherine believes she is seeing her children, the baby and Caleb alive. Then she goes to breastfeed the baby. Meanwhile, in the barn, the old witch, no idea how she is old again, is drinking the blood milk from the goat. They are trapped in there with her. Back in the house, we see a large raven pecking away at Catherine's breast as she believes she is feeding the baby. This house truly is damned. Father awakens and goes outside, only to see Thomasin as the barn is broken open, the goats are killed, and the twins are missing. Then, from the side, Black Phillip charges William silently as the shadow and impales William with his horns. Then he does a little victory dance. Black Phillip charges him again, killing William. I told you we need to talk about Black Phillip. Catherine comes out to confront Thomasin, blaming her for everything, saying she's killed the siblings and the father. She then attacks her, and Thomasin then grabs a blade and slashes Catherine. Catherine then tries to strangle Thomasin, which then means Thomasin has no choice but to continue to attack her own mother to save her life. Now, with her whole family dead, Thomasin returns inside the house where she rests her head on the table. At this point, she is very much screwed. A young girl with no family, no community, in the middle of nowhere, she is good as dead. At night, she goes to the barn where Black Phillip is still resting. She asks him to speak to her, as he did Jonas and Mercy. And, just as you would expect, Black Phillip responds, asking what does she want. So, he was the devil, which means Jonas and Mercy most likely did make a pact, thus why they couldn't recite their prayers. Black Phillip asks her if she would like to taste butter. They're on a farm with milking goats. I'm sure she's tasted butter before. Black Phillip then asks if Thomasin wants to live deliciously and wants to see the world. Thomasin replies, yes. Black Phillip is now a man, no longer a goat. And there is a book. I'm assuming the Black Book of the Devil. So she signs the book, and it shows her walking off into the forest. Naked, of course, because all witches have to be naked. With Black Phillip behind her, back in his goat form, because You know, witches need their animal companion. She then walks through the woods a bit until she comes to a group of naked women chanting by a fire. I assume to be a whole coven of witches. They start floating. Yep, nothing odd to see here, just a bunch of naked floating women. Perfectly normal. Thomasin then starts to float up as well, as she is now a part of the coven, and we see her smiling and happy. This is the first time we see her doing so the whole movie. And that is the end. Moral of that, the family is who you choose and not whom you were born to, or at least that's the lesson I'm leaving you off with. Alright, so that was the movie VVitch. Yeah, I have to say that it was definitely something really different than what I was expecting. I mean, there was a Vitch, so yeah, let's go over the ratings then. So we're going to start off with atmosphere. This movie is a bit odd. Though it did some sound design like in the right areas really well, I felt like the movie was just too quiet. Like, definitely quiet. Because there's no background music, it's just silence. The imagery also seems a little washed out and grayed, quite dark all the time. And I get that it's supposed to be like a horror and haunting, but I don't know, it just wasn't visually appealing to me. So I'd say about a 2 out of 5 for atmosphere. Secondly, characters. Here's the fun part. So I loved Thomasin and the way she was presented. Just a poor girl who is still just a child, teasing her younger siblings, while also desperately trying to prove that she's innocent and knew nothing about witchcraft. And William, the father, was a good, strong character full of pride and control. So for characters, I'd definitely say about a 4 out of 5. Scariness, the thing about Robert Eager films is they aren't scary horror. They're just eerie. So little horror to be found, just a dark concept. Hell, I find the religious following of the family to be scarier than the actual witch. She just appears every now and then like, hello! So, sadly for me, this is going to be a 1 out of 5. The villain? Well, the biggest villain in this whole movie was the religion. And that's saying something considering there's an actual witch in the woods. There was a lot of religious that drove them apart, started blaming each other, and created such a strong negative emotion between them. This is just too bad that this wasn't the intended to be the villain. Black Phillip was cool, and the witch did kill a baby, so at least 2 points on that one. Finally, the ending. The ending was great, as the whole movie pushed Thomasin deeper into darkness, as though she is just a child trying to be good. Everything around her is just blaming her and pushing her. The fact that she turns to Black Phillip when she has nothing left actually says so much about the character. Great ending, 5 out of 5. So with my rating, I would definitely come out to a 56% spooky rating. So that's on my scale, 56. Good job, movie. So my final thoughts for the movie. I think the movie was a good portrayal of older times when people were more ignorant and only had the church and the Bible to really guide them and tell them what to do. The struggle between a prideful family with loss was very well performed. Is the movie rewatchable? Yes. And I would definitely say watch the movie a second time, but with subtitles on. Then you can even understand the songs the twins are even singing to Black Phillip, and you really understand that Black Phillip was controlling them the whole time. And once you know the plot, seeing again, you really understand why the twins were such brats. Lastly, would I recommend this movie? Even though I rate it as a 56, it is still a good movie to watch and enjoy. I would definitely recommend this movie. It is a great watch. So, a big thank you to Zany Mom 5 for joining the Horde. You are welcomed in. Well, that is all for VVitch. Thank you so much for joining me, and make sure to check out my Patreon. I don't have anything up there yet, but any support to get this channel going would be a great help. Also, make sure to subscribe, because that's free, and until next time, I'll see you at the gallows. And remember, for the Horde!